Hi, everyone. It's Kate Byers with Corporate Women Unleashed. I'm super excited today because our client Jean is here. She's been absolutely amazing. She's in the C-suite at a family-owned company. And she came to work with us a few months ago, I think it was Jean, and has had just incredible results. She's made some incredible shifts. It's just been really fun to watch how committed you've been. And I'm excited because she came here to share her story with us. So Jean, welcome. Thank you so much for being willing to share.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. I'm thrilled to be here.
Absolutely. Well, let's just jump in, I think, with, one of the best questions, which is like, what are some of the results that you've got? Like, what are the changes you were hoping to see? And, and are you there? And what is that like for you?
Well, I'm definitely a lot more relaxed. I'm a lot less stressed. I
Mm,
have a lot more balance in my life. My loved ones and I are a lot more connected, and we're thoroughly enjoying family. My leadership is better. My staff, my teams are thriving and flourishing. And overall, I'm more peaceful and fulfilled.
ooh, I love that. I love that. So where were you before? In other words, maybe you can describe that because what you're talking about sounds amazing to live in that space of just
It
peace and
is.
relax and calm. Were you feeling, stressed? Were you feeling burnt out? Were you like, tell us maybe what was going on for you that had you, I guess, seek out an answer to begin with?
Right before CW, gosh, Kate, my typical day was I would wake up and immediately check my schedule on my phone, my calendar, not just work, but my family. So just my life schedule. I would check it to see what was going on that day, make sure I was geared up and prepared, and check my email, my messages to see if there was anything urgent that I needed to attend to. So I would wake up and do all the very responsible stuff and work related, drop off my children to school, then I would work, pick up my children from school, and I would work. And after school activities, my husband and I would coordinate with who was going to take whom where.
Mm,
And I would take my laptop and
uh, yeah.
and we would do dinner time, bath time, bedtime inconsistently because I was trying to work in work
Yep.
more often than not. And many nights after my children fell asleep and went to bed, I would wake up and work. And the simple answer was, well, I have work to do, so I need to work.
Yeah.
And yeah, and a lot of time there's I mean, we still just have 24 hours in a day. As our work increases and our responsibilities increase or we're climbing the ladder, we think that, well, we need to have a corresponding increase in work hours as well,
Mm,
that demand and to still be successful. But where are these hours coming from? They're coming from time with my husband, time with my children, time with my parents, my friends.
mm,
Certainly time with myself. That was probably first to go. Self-care is down to almost zero and very inconsistent.
yeah.
And all of this time taken from all these places is being devoted to work to keep up. So that's where I was at before
Mhm.
you.
So it sounds very like it was just very structured, very rigid. Just work was sort of omnipresent, and then there was these other things that you were doing, which were family oriented, but it was just very scheduled, and work just sort of leaked into all that. Was it? What were you? Why did you not want to continue that way? I guess, Jean. Like, what was your concern? Were you just feeling like there's got to be another way? Were your kids not getting the attention they needed from you? Were you just like, what was having you say like this? Something's got to change.
You summarized really well where I felt like my whole life I was sort of playing Tetris with my calendar or my schedule, trying to fit things in just right here and there. And my whole schedule was sort of blocked up for all these things with work and family and everything. meetings, appointments. And it's exhausting to live like that. And it's no fun. That's no way to live. And it's stressful. And like you said, structured and rigid and unhealthy. And then it's like, how long can I keep living like this? Is this going to be forever? This isn't sustainable. And well, as I keep rising and getting more responsibilities, am I going to keep putting in more work hours? Where am I going to take that from? I mean, how is this going to go?
Yeah.
Oh, just it needed to stop.
Yeah. Yeah. And was there a trigger for you? Was it with some of the new opportunities you were having in your career that made you step back, or not step back, but like sit back and say, okay, something's got to give, because you were at a point of looking at some changes in your responsibility? Was that ultimately the trigger for you?
I remember that. I guess maybe the last thing that I remember from that uh, point in time was New Year's Eve. It was during the day, and I was working during the day, but I was still sending out correspondence and communication, sort of like just another day, because it's just another day. We're working. And I wasn't expecting anyone to respond because I was very mindful that it's New Year's Eve. So I'm respectful of the recipients and wasn't expecting them to respond. But I was still trying to get stuff off my to-do list. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? And, again, I'm spending more time at work or with work, and my husband and my children are elsewhere or in the backyard or whatever, and they're hanging out, and they understand that mommy's busy and finishing up work, and I'm not gonna finish the full day, but I'm still crossing off stuff on my to-do list, and I'll be with you soon. I think that was the last thing I remember.
Yeah, just you were missing out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It really was.
Oh my gosh, Dean. So cool. So cool. Well, what else had you tried? Had you tried other things like, I don't know, calendar management, or was that where that structure came from? Like you were trying to fit things in with that structure, or like, what did you try, I guess, that didn't, because I think a lot of us, before you get to the point of making a more major shift, I know I did, like I tried this and I tried that and I tried this, and I was like, oh, maybe I need to change me. Like it took me a while to get there to realize like I maybe needed to change how I was approaching things versus adding external, pieces to the mix. So how did that go for you, I guess?
Yes, the whole calendar piece, of course. But I have my work calendar, I have my personal calendar, I have my assistant helping me to like manage all of it. And additionally, when I listened to your breakthrough video,
Yeah.
like a lot of the things you said really resonated with me. And some of the things were basically building this support system of trusted, wonderful people to help you with your children and your household and meals and assistant with the calendar and all this stuff, but you still feel like you have a million things to do that you just can't keep up with. And you're just giving yourself to everything and everyone. And it's tiring and exhausting.
Yeah.
And there didn't seem to be any answers, meaning it just seemed like all the women I knew were in the same boat. And a lot of my coworkers or peers or fellow professional women, and from different stages, up to VP or president, were talking about how they're working so much and they're trying to be with their children, but at the same time they're on their email or phone trying to answer emails and keep up with work, and they're missing bath time because they have to go to a work event. And it just seems like the theme is life is tough. This is just how it is. Yeah. The sooner you accept it, the better you'll get with maneuvering through life and be strong and tough and go through it, and you'll be successful. This is just how it is. That's the secret. There is no secret. The secret is life is tough. Deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and thank goodness, Jean, that you didn't believe that, or you were willing to at least challenge that assumption, right? Because we hear that all the time from women who are like, is it even possible? And we're like, yes, look at all these people like, who are living in freedom now. But that's the story we're told, right? Which is, hey, if you want, if you want to have a professional career and be successful, then it's just going to be like this. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, grin and bear it. And hopefully you get a little bit of happiness in there somewhere. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's not very inspiring. Or to your point, sustainable. Like at some point you just break, at some point you're just like, I'm done. Like I'm just going to go live in the loony house, or, I'm just going to sit home and cry every day. I mean, we just can't continue that. It's too much. So what does your family think? I'm curious. Like, does your husband notice a change? Do your kids, are they like, mommy's, I don't know, like, what do they notice, or do they notice?
Yeah, they've all seen a big change. Before starting CW, my 3-year-old made a joke by saying, I'm mommy, pretending to be me, and he was miming, typing on a computer, and we all laughed, but oh my gosh, that's probably what mommy's working a lot of the time. And now I hear a lot of, Mom, I love you. Mom, you're beautiful. Perfect mom for me. Mom, you're so nice. All voluntarily. I don't make them say these things. And they just say it. And sometimes when I least expect it, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. And yeah, and we have a lot of these family moments where we're all four just feeling really deeply connected and joyful.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, because you're around with the white space and the headspace to create those deeper relationships, right?
Yes.
Not just, yeah, I'll be right there. Oh, it's a cute drawing, because I used to do that all the time. I was always I was multitasking my mothering, like, which doesn't feel great. Oh my gosh. Well, so what are some of the shifts for you, or what are some of the changes that you feel you had to make? Because you haven't changed your job, you haven't changed your responsibility, you haven't changed your income, you haven't done anything major. You're in the same job. If anything, you have more responsibility now, but yet you're enjoying life more deeply and you're having more control over your schedule and your time. What did that for you?
You. You.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But what?
Yes. I mean, you changed my life. You and your team, you have this amazing team, and you've crafted this program in a really great way where you teach us specific techniques and strategies and tools that we can very easily understand and learn and implement. And then I was able to see the shifts and the changes most immediately, if not immediately, where the schedule that I told you about a few minutes ago, I think it started dismantling immediately after I started the program, where I don't think I've done that full day after starting CW. I've done pieces of it as and when I need to,
Sure.
But everything is more in check now, and I'm more connected with the other important things in life. Work is still important, it's significant, but so are my family members and me and the other things in life that I love. There's importance and significance, and I'm able to flow and balance between all of it a lot easier than I ever thought I would. So you crafted and structured your program in a fairly easy way. It's not difficult.
That's awesome. Yeah, you just step through each piece.
I don't know if someone's trying to get the doorbell rang twice. I don't know if it came through.
Oh no, I don't know. Someone trying to get into your house? Oh no.
Okay.
Do you need to go get it?
Let me just check. I was going to ignore it with the one.
Oh my gosh, too funny. Okay, so I love that the program was so simple for you, right? To really execute and see. What do you think had you so structured about work first? I mean, was it a lot of like that? Was it just the needs and the human behavior piece we teach? Or do you feel like it was more that psychology of, I've just got to get it done. I've just got to get it done. Like, was it breaking through those mindset pieces or those beliefs, or I don't know, what do you think was maybe a significant piece for you?
I think it was definitely both the needs piece that you teach, where none of us really know or realize that we have those needs to begin with.
Right.
So obviously we're not paying attention to them, let alone trying to meet them at a highly effective level.
Right.
And the other piece, of course, is this is a habit of this is important. This is
Yeah.
supposed to be. This is what we're supposed to do. And we're supposed to do all these things and be a certain way, especially I think for women, we have all of these identities and we try to be the best we can at all these
Mm-hmm.
and all these identities. And I have this image that comes to my mind from time to time, especially after being in CW, of my first child. I went back to work after my maternity leave and I was good at my job. So I got more responsibility and I'm trying to, be the best at that and be the best mom and be the best at these things. We have to be the best daughter and the best daughter-in-law and the best spouse. And the image is of me. This is something that actually happened. So it's my memory. The image means it's my memory of holding my newborn or my infant in the middle of the night in between feedings and working and completing my work in the other hand. And like you teach us, yeah, we're hardworking women and we're smart, capable, successful. And these are all things that have served us well. They're not bad, but boy, that's no way to live, is it? For forever.
Yeah. 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 There's nothing wrong with doing that for a month or 3 months, but when all of a sudden it's been like 13 years, 30 years, you start going, hey, I'm missing out. I'm missing out. This is not what I want. Thank you, Jane. I love that. Yeah. The multitasking mom, we got to bury that. That is not a way to live. So now you decided to move on, you did your 8 weeks in CWU and it sounds like you went from structure to flow. Like that's what I'm hearing. Like there's a lot more flow, a lot more depth in your relationships, just those sweeter moments. But then you came back and you decided to step forward into Corporate Women Rising, which is our, it's like a cohort for women who want to continue to master this at a deeper level. And I think have some of that camaraderie among like-minded women. But tell me a little bit about your decision there. Like what was the catalyst for that, I guess?
I started, I guess I ended CWU and then the lockdowns started happening. And so everyone's lives were changing globally. And day by day, we sort of had to figure out how we're going to live this new normal and what's going to happen. And we're still facing that. But I was able to be agile and adjustable and have that positive attitude that I've always had and continue. But all of a sudden I felt like I was going back to my old tried and true and trusted methods that I'd been in a habit in for so long. And I was trying to do your teachings from CWU, but while I was trying to keep up with it, I still felt like I was going backwards.
Yep.
And one of the reasons I decided to step forward and do CWR is there was a couple of weeks where all four of us were home together constantly. I was working from home, but my husband wasn't. He was home. And being the wonderful, kind husband and dad that he is, he was taking care of the kids and the home and everything else. And I was very grateful for that. But instead of graciously accepting that gift of time and saying, I'm going to work these many hours and then I'll use the rest for self-care and leisure and relaxation, and thank you very much, I was throwing myself back into work and saying, okay, I'm going to use all these hours for work And I realized that it wasn't just the habit, it was also the fact that, oh, I'm not feeling fulfilled. I'm not feeling right. I'm not feeling fulfilled, but I'm not feeling like I can contribute here because you've got everything covered. And I'm not feeling, my esteem wasn't being met because we all associate our esteem typically with what we can do and accomplish. Um, and things were a little more peaceful. And I wasn't living under that stress, that bubble that we're all used to living in with the time management and the structure and that. And sometimes it gets our adrenaline going and really drives us. And I realized that in the absence of all of that, I was diving more into work. And thought, all right, let's join CWR and
Let's
keep sailing, keep this going.
Good for you. Good for you. That's so awesome. Yeah, it's a journey, and I think that's the thing about all of us high achieving, but we fix gaps, we plug holes, we get it done. We're results oriented and we want that silver bullet. What's that one thing I can do that will just make it all like zing? But when you talk about creating that change and understanding your own human behavior, be the change that you want to see type of thing, it's a process, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, especially when you are in a position and or the world changes around you, you got to use those skills at a lot deeper level more quickly, right? And so sometimes we haven't had enough time to practice those and really get it into our DNA as that new habit. So it's really smart of you to not just lose it, but to say, wait a minute, if I move forward in it, then it really will become part of my DNA. And it's so much easier and more fun, I think, when you're doing it with a group of like-minded people than when you're just sitting in your house trying to fix crazy terrain all by yourself.
Right? It really is. It really is. It feels wonderful being in a group of like-minded women who are strong and successful and capable and confident, just like you are. And all of you are trying to get to that next level of life.
Of life. Yes. Yes. I love that. Yeah. Not just your career, of life. We can do the career thing all day long. It's the next level of life. Like, I want a well-lived life. That's so beautiful. Yes. Oh my gosh, Jean, any advice you'd have for any woman watching this, or just, any takeaways as we start to wrap up? I so appreciate you being here. Anything you'd like to throw out there?
Yeah, I'd say sign up for the program. Join Kate and her team and see what she has to offer. You will not regret it. In fact, you'll say, why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah.
And it's a gift for your life, for your lifetime, not just the season of life that you're in right now. And it's going to positively impact you in every area of your life, including work. It's going to positively impact the lives of the people around you. So why wouldn't you want to do that? You're a lot more valuable than any of your investments, aren't you? You're deserving, you're worthy, you're valuable. Well, invest in yourself for your life, for your lifetime. Gift yourself this beautiful, wonderful gift of the next version of yourself, and the next version and the next version all get better.
I love it. Jean, wow. I couldn't have scripted that out better. That's fabulous. Thank you so much. And I know there's other women out here who are inspired by your words and can relate to you and can relate to that experience. So I so appreciate you being here. I will wrap up and just say thanks again. It's been delightful. You're fabulous to work with. It's great knowing you. And again, thanks for sharing. Totally appreciate you doing this with us.
Thank you so much, Kate. Thank you.